Yo, what's going on? So today we are going to make a drill beat inside of Ableton. So if you're excited for that, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's jump right into this. Alright, so we're going to set the tempo to 142, that's about a good area, and I'm going to go ahead and start laying out some basic piano chords and get this thing going. Okay, we got some basic chords now, but I don't really want to use a piano for this beat. We're going to find something a little different here. So we're going to look around at Omnisphere really quick and find something. Alright guys, so we picked out this Blueberry Field song in Omnisphere. It's kind of like a flute sort of deal here. So this is what it sounds like now. Wow, Ableton just crashed on me. How fun. Come on, dude. Blueberry. We are going to save this so that does not happen again. Alright guys, so basically what I did here for the second part of the melody, what I did is I played out the basic pattern right here on the keyboard, and then I just added some more bass notes to kind of fit with this part so there was more going on, and then I just added two top notes here that happen in the middle of the chord just to give it more character and to make it sound different overall, and just tweaking with these things and playing like that. That's how you get an awesome result. Alright guys, we switched up the Blueberry Farms, or whatever the hell that thing was, Blueberry Fields, to this Casio thing. It's sounding a lot better now. Let's take a listen. Alright guys, so with drill beats, it's not just the standard clap like you have. You see that this one's actually offset by a whole nother little bit here. So instead of it being on this note every time, we take the second one and we move it off just a little bit. So it sounds like this. And the hi-hats are a little bit different too. There's basically two spaces in between most of them, and then when it finishes out the little segment, it gets a little different. So let's listen to it so you know what I mean. So as you can see, if we put a fourth note right here, it doesn't sound right. So basically we're gonna have to go back to this one, but take a listen really quick. So we're gonna put it here. Alright. Alright, so this is like a basic drill kind of hi-hat pattern, and once you have the feel right of this, then you can go in and start tweaking things and making it sound right. If you want to get that kind of crazy delay that they have on the hi-hat, you could use some sort of a delay plugin. I use the H delay, and I basically just dial in the sound here, and I'll show you how I do it. So we're just going to go for an 1/8 delay. What I usually like to do is go ahead and make it into 2 different layers and then use the volume to dial it in. So when you do it like that, you can get a really subtle effect and it sounds really good. All right, let's add in a little perk sound now. Alright, so before we move on to the 808, let's kind of cheese up this main piano type of deal right here. Make it a little better. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a shaper box on here, and we're just going to kind of play with some of these time effects and see if we can find something dope. Alright, so this is just doing a little reverse at the end of the 4 bars here. Let's see if we can add something else too. Alright, so when you're doing the 808s for your drill beats, the best thing to start with, at least, is to start with just notes at the beginning and the ends of the 4 bars here. You don't need everything going on in the middle. It's not going to sound as right. So, and then once you got a little basic pattern down that you like, we can start adding in the different little glides. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into our controls here, and we're going to turn our glide onto glide here. And we can turn this up to about 100 milliseconds or a little above that, that's fine. Start playing with it. Alright, so that is starting to sound awesome. Got a good 808 pattern going now. So basically you just got to play around with the different notes here. We basically have this note coming in the middle of this C, and then back down, and then over here. We had to play around with this for a little while to make it sound right, but basically have this note starting and then transitioning up, and we're starting this note again so that we have a good tail to lead onto coming into this note. We don't have anything too crazy going on, but it's sounding good. If you have too much going on, sometimes it can be hard to make the beat actually sound good, and it might start to sound too crazy. So at least when you're starting off, start off with a simpler 808 pattern with maybe just a couple glides, and then once you get comfortable with that, you can move on to making it more ridiculous. Alright guys, so we put a little cassette on our lead instrument here just to kind of mellow out some of the harshness. So this is what it sounded like before. Then we put the cassette on. Really mellowed it out really nicely there, so it sits in the mix way better now. Alright, we can add in a kick here, wrap up this beat. Alright guys, that's how you make a banging drill beat in Ableton. Now the hardest part is usually getting those 808 glides right, and just to make sure that you're not overdoing it and doing too many glides and making it sound too crazy, because you want it to still flow and you want it to still have a nice harmony to the beat and the structure as well. So once you get that down, you are all set, man. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and we'll be seeing you again in the next one. Peace out.